Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2021 general reading. We are looking at the first 2 weeks of November from the 1st to the 15th, and this reading is for the water sign of Cancer. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking the time to be here to watch this video, any of the videos on my YouTube channel, and thank you as well for all the likes, shares, subscribing, feedback, comments, reaching out for personal readings. It all makes a difference. Thank you. So Cancer, this reading is for you for the first 2 weeks of November 2021. That's if your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Cancer. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Cancerian. It's a general reading. Of course, it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. If you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, watch them all for any additional insight and perspective. And if you find that something does resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look at something for yourself or even as a gift for someone else, you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow. You'll see my email address there, maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me directly. I'd be delighted to hear from you. And I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full-time. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent about timely scheduling. So message me if you'd like. Okay, Cancer, let's see what the first 2 weeks of November look like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Cancer, we begin with the Nine of Wands. The Wounded Warrior card, somebody who's been through quite a lot, and they're kind of taking a knee in the last quarter mile and wondering if they have enough to continue, if they should give up. You know, it's that card that represents it's the 11th hour, it's darkest before dawn. With the Five of Swords, a hard-won victory, winning at all costs. Even if that cost is separating yourself from people, places, or situations. Yeah, this is like being in the middle of a process of some kind, Cancer. You're just trying to get yourself to the end of this particular process you're going through. And it's so hard, and, you know, it's like, feels very much like your sister sign, Scorpio. You know, that quarter mile, that last quarter mile of the race or that last quarter mile of the journey is always the hardest. I don't know why. I think it's because, you know, for the bulk of whatever struggle or challenge or whatever it is that you've been working through, you know, you're often consumed or distracted or focused on, okay, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this. And then when you're actually closer to the end, the journey behind you feels so very heavy that it feels like, oh my gosh, can I make it to the end, you know, kind of energy. And that's what I'm getting here. It turned out to be harder and longer than you thought, perhaps. And then we have the Chariot. Success on a very difficult and challenging path. Success that comes only, it's a card of winning because you refuse to give up. It's like getting run over 9 times, and that 9th time you've got to get back up and get back in that chariot again and keep going, because that's the only way to win. It's staying focused on your goals, staying ambitious, and not letting anything stop you until you get to where you want to be. The Two of Cups, soulmate, kindred spirit, partnerships, best friends. Likely for many of you a relationship reading, whether it's love and romance or, you know, some other kind of kindred spirit, best friend. You can reverse this too. I mean, it might be somebody that you're helping go through something difficult. The Lovers, karmic connections. This usually represents a relationship at a crossroads, and a decision needs to be made as to basically the future of this relationship. Sometimes it's a card that represents third-party situations, but sometimes not. But it does represent a decision, a choice needs to be made that's either about the relationship, or it might be about another part of life that's going to significantly affect a relationship, which, right, represents a relationship at a crossroads. It also implies choice. A choice needs to be made. And I feel like it might be a difficult choice, too. With the Lovers, we have the Three of Cups, which is a very lighthearted card. It's a card that has a lot of social energy to it. being out, having a good time, kindred spirits, your tribe, positive social connections in your community. It may be for some of you that your closest friends might be helpful to you in making this decision. But we'll clarify. From the bottom from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the first half of November is the Two of Coins. So, it feels like this is a common theme for all of the signs, regardless of the area of life it's in. It's people being at a crossroads and feeling kind of stuck at that crossroads and not knowing what they need to do or what decision to make or if they want to keep moving forward or not. It's the same here. What decision to make? What do I want to manifest? What am I willing to allow to continue? Okay. Definitely for most of you, we have the Two of Cups and the Lovers here. It's a relationship decision, or it's a significant enough decision in another area of life that it's gonna have a pretty profound impact on a relationship. So let's clarify the Two of Coins as overall energy for the first 2 weeks of November. The Lovers again. Relationship at a crossroads, death, endings, transformations. The Chariot again. Pull the next one is Judgment. Look at all these major arcana cards. You have two major arcana cards repeated, the Chariot and the Lovers. That's one of the reasons why I like to clarify with a different deck, because when you get the same cards repeated, that represents, it's kind of like a big neon arrow pointing to the fact that that particular area is significant and profound during this period of time. It definitely looks like there's a choice that needs to be made that's either about a relationship or going to profoundly impact that, and it looks like a difficult decision to make. It may be that what you want for the relationship or what you want in another area of life may not be compatible with the relationship or with what the other person thinks the relationship should be like. Because it looks like a really difficult crossroads, a really difficult choice. And Judgment is a crossroads card as well, and it's also a card of choices. This is a card, and it's sometimes called the second chance card, which strongly implies that if you had the opportunity to make a decision about this relationship before, you might want to consider making a different decision now. And the results of Judgment are usually final, just like they are in real life, right? Which means that whatever choice you make or whatever action you take or don't take, that's a decision too. It's going to be long lasting or even permanent, right? So meaning if this is a relationship where your goals are not compatible with each other, but you choose to stay anyway, you're probably going to stay in this relationship for quite a long time, if not permanently. So choose carefully. And the fact that it's showing to be a difficult decision to make is a strong implication, Cancer, that the relationship itself is at stake. And if a decision that's in your best interest conflicts with that relationship, then obviously it would represent, a breakup of some kind, or telling the person, look, if we're not both on the same page here, then we don't really have, logically, we don't have a future together. Let's clarify the Nine of Wands. The High Priestess, intuition, divine intuition. This is basically surrendering to your intuition as well. Intuition is our conduit to spirit. It's kind of like the hose, right, to spirit. It's God, angels, spirits, and guides giving you the insight and that compulsion that you need in order to know what the right way is or what the right thing is to do here. Even if it conflicts with what your heart might want, even if it conflicts with what other people are telling you. The Tower, sudden, unexpected events, something that comes crumbling down, something that shakes you down to your foundation. And this is all clarifying that wounded warrior having to sit down and take a breather kind of card. I feel like if this hasn't happened yet, it's happening during this 2-week period of time, Cancer. Spirit is going to show you in probably a pretty dramatic or unexpected way what needs to happen here. And you'll know it without a shadow of a doubt. Clarify the 5 of Swords. The Ace of Wands, a new beginning, the Magician. He knows how to manifest new beginnings by combining his talents, his experience, his wisdom, and the hard work to actually make something into physical reality. The Wheel of Fortune. I feel, you've got the Tower, the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess. I feel like Spirit's going to let you know in no uncertain terms what exactly you need to do to manifest the kind of path you want to be on. And for some of you, maybe even a lot of you, that's going to conflict with the relationship goals, or where the relationship is, or where you think it is versus where the other person thinks it should be. Clarify the Chariot. The Moon. A lack of knowing, a lack of clarity, hidden fears. You know, the Moon could be a scary card. We have the Sun actually right after it. And the 9 of Wands, again, the Wounded Warrior card. This is like part of the difficulty of this crossroads you're at, Scorpio. The Chariot is difficult, right? Is that sometimes you feel like you know the right path and you're going to do it, and you know it's going to work out fine. You know it's the right thing to do, and you feel pretty good about getting through it. But then the next day you feel different. You feel like you don't have any clarity, and you don't know if you're doing the right thing, and you don't know what the thing is you're supposed to do. You know, the Moon sheds light like the Sun does, right? But it's a different kind of light because it reflects the light of the Sun. So it's a thinner light. It's a more watery light, you know. My favorite analogy for the Moon is that big, cool, gnarly-looking tree that's in, the back of your backyard. You know what it is under the light of the Sun because it's just this big, cool, gnarly, old, knobbly tree, right? But under the light of the Moon, there's a lot of shadows and hidden nooks and corners and recesses, and you don't know what's in there, and you wonder about what's in there, and you see something move, and you think, and all of a sudden that tree becomes a monster or a bear. It's really not. But the Moon can also represent not knowing and fear in that not knowing. Deep-seated fear is coming out, and that's part of the challenge here too, of not knowing. Do I continue? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? I'm not going to clarify the 2 of Cups. It's obviously a relationship reading, but I will clarify the Lovers because that implies crossroads and choice. Clarify the Lovers. The 6 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Wands. Again, crossroads and choices. What action to take. I think that in this relationship, Cancer, you have given far too much and received far too little in return, so you're left feeling depleted and feeling like you have to ask or beg or feel satisfied with whatever crumbs you get, because that's really what this means, the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is a card of insufficiency and lack. It can be financial insufficiency and lack. And again, this decision, this choice for some of you that are watching this might not be about the relationship itself. It might be in the financial sector, of your life. And the decisions you make about this are going to affect the relationship and potentially in a challenging or negative way. So it could be that too. But the 5 of Pentacles represents feeling shut out, abandoned, like being out in the cold, like being reduced to like begging, In fact, it might be actually in the Tarot of Dreams deck. The 5 of Pentacles shows a woman who is obviously a beggar, and she has her little beggar's basket, and she's like holding it out like, please give me something, I'm hungry, a crumb, a penny. And here in the 6 of Pentacles, something's being given. But this is often called the breadcrumb card too, because It represents somebody who has a lot to give, but they only give when they feel like it, when they think about it, if it's convenient for them. This card addresses the balance of giving and receiving, if it's healthy, if it's balanced. And it's not here. It's obvious that it's not. And so, what to do? Clarify the Two of Cups. The difficulty, of course, is that you've got the Lovers and the Two of Cups. It's obviously some kind of karmic connection, and therefore lessons to be learned in it that are important for your evolution as a human being. But it also makes those lessons extraordinarily difficult, because if the choice is that you've learned a lot in this relationship, but you need to move on from it, it's very difficult because you feel the weight of that pull, the weight of that history you share with this person. Clarify the Three of Cups. The Two of Pentacles. There is just crossroads, choice, make a decision all over this reading. The Hermit, which is very different from the Three of Cups. But not so much so, because the Hermit and the Three of Cups can represent often that there is a particular person in your circle, in your tribe, in your community that you're an active part of, that has a lot of wisdom and insight. They may even be a religious or a spiritual person, or a person of wisdom, or a counselor, or priest, or something like that, that can help you through this. For those of you for whom this is somebody else close to you that you're helping through a difficult process, the Hermit and the Three of Cups represents that you're actually in a position to help and benefit somebody else finding the answers on a very difficult and challenging path, one or the other here. Somebody who's helping somebody make the right choice, the best choice for themselves based on their own experience and wisdom and insight as well. Challenging. We've all been through these times, I'm just going to leave it there and ask for any advice, guidance, any final messages for Cancer for the first 2 weeks of November. I don't get the sense that many of you are actually making a decision or taking any particularly decisive action during this time, which again is kind of what I'm picking up for most of the signs right now is, crossroads, what do I do? What do I do? But many of you not actually making the choice yet. There's that Three of Cups again. I really feel like whether it's a friend or a particular close group or someone in your community either is or can be of huge assistance to you in this process. The King of Cups, there you are, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The Three of Swords, heartbreak, heartache, breakup, emotional pain. The Six of Cups, the card of a historical attachment, which of course belongs with that Two of Cups and the Six of Cups, because the Six of Cups is also considered one of the secondary soulmate cards. And here we have the soulmate card again, the Two of Cups. And the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is a card of healing. But healing means that you have to move away from the source of the conflict or separate yourself from the source of conflict, which in a way coincides with the Four of Pentacles, because even though it can resonate in the financial and material world because it's called the miser card, the hoarding card, this is a card of somebody who clutches what they have to them because it makes them feel safe and secure. They don't want to share or give out, because if they do, they feel like they're going to end up losing and not have anything left. So they hold very tightly to what they have. It's precious to them. Now, it's called the miser card, or the card of being economical and thrifty or frugal. But when it shows up in an emotional relationship or an emotional situation, particularly in the form of advice, this represents that you need to not be like that Six of Pentacles, giving so freely of yourself, because you're going to end up depleted. You want to make sure to keep what you need to keep yourself feeling safe and secure. So this is actually withholding as a form of self-protection, right? And healing. It's part of the healing process. This is like removing or separating yourself, even if it's just going off the grid for a time. It doesn't necessarily mean breakup. it might for some of you. And sometimes that's what causes the other person to have an epiphany and change, but that doesn't happen as often as we would like it to. And a decision to separate from somebody should never be made based on the fact that you're hoping that's what's going to make the other person change, right? Because then if it doesn't happen, it hasn't been an honest choice, and you're still connected to that person, place, or situation, and often compelled to go back to it. If you leave or separate yourself from something you genuinely feel isn't good for you, even if it hurts, then you need to do that based on the fact that it is the best decision for you, not in the hopes that it will have the reverse effect. I mean, it's okay to hope, but you shouldn't make the decision based on that because it's not really an honest decision. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, Cancer, that is your general reading, your general messages for the first 2 weeks of November. I hope that, gosh, I've been saying this a lot for the general readings. I can't say that I hope you've enjoyed it because, it's one of those heavier feeling kind of readings, but I do hope that whoever needed to hear it gets the insight and resonance and validation that they need to hear. And again, if this resonates with you and you'd like to reach out for a reading, take a deeper look at something, for yourself or as a gift for someone else, click on the little arrow, that description link. You'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me directly. I would be delighted to hear from you and even more delighted to work with you. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the November mid-month readings. Until then, stay well, stay safe, be blessed, be strong, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.